New York to Louisiana to New Orleans. Welcome to the Garden District. My New York version of this vloggy itinerary sharing type video did really well last year, so I hope you enjoy my New Orleans version. Don't get it twisted though, this will be a concise video on the best things to do in New Orleans if you are a first timer. I've really done my research and put together a good itinerary over the next 2 days. Before the sun sets, I better show you my room tonight. So welcome to my room. I know, don't freak out because I am. I found that the Henry Howard had that really beautiful like interior decor down to a T, where it's not over the top like New Orleans decor. It's also very, very contemporary. So like this is definitely like a custom bed, like all these jazz details, like it's so nice. Tomorrow I will be checking out of this little palace that I have here and moving into my Airbnb for the rest of my trip, but it's still a really cool Airbnb. I've never done Airbnb before. I think you guys are going to love it. It's very New Orleans. New Orleans, down in the French Quarter. I spent the morning shooting with a photographer that I booked, so she helped me out with some pictures for my blog. But we finished up in Café du Monde, the famous cafe here in the French Quarter, for some beignets. Yeah, beignets. They're a really famous New Orleans pastry, and you have to come to Café du Monde for a frozen coffee and some fresh, warm beignets. You could spend hours weaving in and out of the French Quarter. It's such a beautiful part of the city, lots of restaurants, bars, cafes like Café du Monde, which I just came out of. If you do happen to stop at Café du Monde, it's right next to the Jackson Square, which is kind of home to St. Louis Cathedral or St. Louis Cathedral. It's the oldest cathedral in the United States. Can you believe that? I'm looking at it right now. It's absolutely breathtaking, and of course we have to go have a look. Time is pressing on faster than I wanted to. It's already 3 o'clock, so I better get to my to-do list. I'm going to jump into Uber and head over to City Park, which is like the super big green area here in New Orleans. So my Uber has dropped me off at the Contemporary Art Museum. It's really beautiful. It's right inside City Park, which is, I think, from what my Uber told me, is the biggest in-city park in the United States. So there's a lot of firsts and biggests here in New Orleans, so I'm gonna obviously take you guys with me. Can't resist a good art museum. It is just about 5 o'clock now, so all the museums and attractions like this are starting to close, so that's why I wanted to get them in before heading back to the French Quarter. Oh, traveling in streetcar style, heading back to the French Quarter in a classic streetcar. Bourbon Street is starting to lighten up a little bit. I'm heading up here to go for a drink at a highly recommended spot, because you know you can't come to New Orleans and not have a cocktail. 3 stops on my route tonight. I'm sort of staying on Orleans Street. Pretty much everything I'm doing tonight is along there. So I'm gonna have a drink, then I'm gonna eat down here and head to the last part of my evening. So first up is Pat O'Brien's. I hear you do a good hurricane. Can I have one? Okay.
He's doing it great. He's little it's amazing.
Fantastic. One, please. Thank you.
Especially for you, especially made.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Actually, Joey, I was going there just to get a
5 million children.
Yeah, well, they had like 4 of them.
Don't come to Pat O'Brien's unless you want to get really drunk and 5 sips of drink. This is my friend Tony and Michelle.
Oh, wait.
I got a marriage proposal at the bar.
Look at all that information on the
I was drunk after like 3 sips of that drink. I'm actually going to my tour pretty drunk. So this is pretty. We're going to go on the tour because I paid for it. Somehow I'm sober enough to actually register that I'm still on a tour. Ready to go.
Come on down. I get a little scared too. It's a haunted tour after all, right? I'd like to talk about the rules first. Get them out of the way. Man, that's a lot to say. Can I just call you Pierre? Yeah. You all right? Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so pretty at night. I'm actually loving that I'm in this tour. It makes me feel like a little less alone. A little worse for wear, to say the least, but it's late. I haven't had dinner yet. I've eaten 1.5 vignettes today. When in New Orleans, one must order a po' boy. So here we go. I've just arrived in my Airbnb. It's absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to show you guys my room now. So I'm staying about 5 minutes away in an Uber from where I was in this absolutely gorgeous part of this house that I'm staying in. This was originally sort of the kitchen quarters of the house, but it is so stunning. Has kind of like a beachy vibe. It has everything I need. I feel very separated from everyone else, which is nice. It really feels like my own little apartment. So I have my aircon, fridge, all my little bits and bobs, but the charm of this place. Up bright and early for the Oak Alley Plantation tour. Hi Renee.
Alrighty.
I'm so excited today.
Hey, yeah, so where are you from?
I'm from Ireland.
Oh, a long way from home, huh?
Yeah.
Ooh, first time here?
Yes, it is indeed.
All right, folks, we're going to catch the 11 o'clock tour.
So the original slave homes were all destroyed, but they used thermal imaging to figure out where they would have been. There was over 220 slaves here at one point, so they've kind of tried to reconstruct them. I'm also trying to be good and order traditional New Orleans style cuisine. So we are having a catfish po' boy, and there's a little bit of gumbo on the side. So this is what we're dealing with. First impressions of the gumbo is it's pretty good. It's kind of like a chickeny, sausagey broth. It's not offensive at all. Sandwich to soak up into the bread. That was delicious. One thing I will say though is that my legs are getting tortured by mosquitoes. Ooh, I am a clammy Tammy. So we've passed the crossroads for the start of Magazine Street on Felicity and Magazine Street Crossroads. A little note, Magazine Street is super long, so it pretty much has shops, and then it gets quiet and it's more houses, then there's more shops, then more houses, so it kind of goes up and down in robustness. So just keep walking, enjoy the houses in between. I don't think there's one tree in New Orleans that doesn't have some kind of beads hanging off of it somewhere. Remnants. Vietnamese coffee one, please. In the French Quarter for a little bit now. I just really wanted to do another loop and just take my time to take some pictures, take some nice clips for this vlog video thing. And I think out of all of the touristy areas, Royal Street is my favorite. It's just next to Bourbon Street, but it's just quieter, it's more chill, and there's lots of cool shops and art galleries, and the Greek Revival style architecture is the best down here, I feel. There's also tons of amazing street performers, and I'm a sucker for them. They're my favorite. I'll always stop. Cafe Amelie is such a cute place to eat. It's all this cute little outdoor al fresco vibe. My last evening is coming to a close. I had to go back to Café du Monde and get one more frozen coffee. Y'all know if I go back for something twice, it's good. So, bagpipes, not the music we're going for tonight. Wouldn't be a trip to New Orleans if I didn't go see some jazz music. So I'm heading to Preservation Hall, very famous place to see a jazz band. They have like almost hourly shows during the week, and from what I've heard, you'll be mad to miss it. So let's go check it out and bring the night to a close.
You're dropping